Welcome to the 24th week of this year's In Times Like These recap. Now, let's get into this. Starting with Vanessa Dorval, who receives another angry text from her stalker, unaware that it's Kiev Burke. Her parents, Jeremiah and Shelley, notice how bothered she looks, but Vanessa's grandfather, Raymond, tells her parents to go easy on her. When Vanessa walks out of the room, she bumps into her younger brother JJ, who wonders if the stalker is still bothering her. She tries to get JJ to leave it alone, which he refuses to do, fearing for his older sister's safety. Vanessa believes that if she asks for help, then it would only make the stalker more dangerous. JJ goes on to ask Vanessa if she's been threatened, then she walks away from her brother. At the mall, Yvette Mitchell bumps into Kiev, asking him if JJ has feelings for Yulisa Torres. Kiev answers that JJ hasn't mentioned anything, but is amused that Yvette is struggling to get the only boy who would never give her the time of day. Yet, he agrees to help Yvette, wanting a favor in return. At Theodosia's palace, Finnegan Burke eats dinner with Harley Drake. As soon as she asks what the dinner is about, he asks her if she'd like to move in with him. Harley is unsure of what to decide, then Alan arrives. He goes on to tell his mother that he's no longer upset with her for keeping from him that Devonte Torres was behind his attack. When Finnegan tells Alan that he should have never been angry at Harley to begin with, Alan goes back and forth with his mother's lover. Alan adds how he doesn't want Harley to be hurt by Finnegan like Terry was. At Confidence Designs, Owen Grant wonders if Wanda Mitchell's husband Udell was upset that Owen was invited to the Juneteenth event. Wanda tells Owen that Udell will have to get over it. He goes on to ask Wanda what it will take for him to get on Udell's good side. She expresses that Udell would like him better if he stopped being her friend. Owen goes on to tell Wanda how he's noticed that Udell hasn't been this hostile since Yvette dropped the charges against Max Russo. Wanda tries to get Owen to drop his suspicions, not wanting him to find out that her daughter lied about Max. He goes on to question why Udell is so hostile towards him, wondering if Udell feels threatened by Owen's role in Wanda's life. She encourages Owen not to ponder on it. Owen goes on to tell Wanda how she doesn't deserve to be stuck in the middle between him and her husband. Wanda tells Owen not to worry about her, but Owen tells her that he can't help but worry because of how much he cares about her. She lets him know that she cares about him as well, but tells him that she's dealt with Udell for decades and could handle him. Before Owen leaves, he tells Wanda that she can handle anything that comes her way. Kiev shows up at the Dorval estate, then goes on to ask JJ how he feels about Yulisa. JJ tells Kiev that he and Yulisa are just friends. Then Kiev walks out of the estate, then leaves an envelope on the ground. He pretends that it didn't come from him, telling JJ and Vanessa that a note came in for her. Vanessa is horrified by what she saw. JJ convinces Vanessa to show him the note. In the note is a photo of Max Russo, with 2 guns pointed at him, desiring his demise. When Owen asks what Heidi wants, she asks him if he'll be attending the Juneteenth event at Theodosia's palace. Heidi claps back, wondering if he's wanted by Udell. Owen tells Heidi that his personal life isn't something that she needs to concern herself with, wondering if he's trying to use him against the Mitchells. Heidi reminds Owen that she's not pursuing legal action against the Mitchells, even though Yvette deserves to be punished for what she did to Max. She goes as far as to tell Owen that Yvette most likely dropped the charges because of guilt, wondering if Wanda is his friend for the same reason. Angered, Owen tells Heidi that he can't believe she would make a serious accusation against Wanda. At Russo Jewelers, Essador, Russo looks at an older picture of him and Isabel. When Vivian Jones walks in, she asks her older half-brother if he's okay. Unaware that Vivian is his younger half-sister, Essador claims that he's fine, asking Vivian to leave. She runs into her nephew Alan, asking what's bothering his father. Alan suggests that Essador is missing Isabel. Because of Essador's feelings for Isabel, this is something that Vivian feels like she could use against her older half-brother. While Zeke Franklin is working at Theodosius's palace, he watches X-rated videos on his phone. Isabel Torres walks up to him, asking Zeke if he's distracted. Zeke lies, telling Isabel that Quinlan called. Isabel lets him off with a warning. Then Nichelle Torres walks up to her boyfriend, telling him that her mother is just being a tough boss with everyone. She goes on to assure Zeke that Isabel is okay with them dating. Zeke states that it doesn't mean Isabel trusts him and that he doesn't deserve to be trusted. Nichelle responds by telling Zeke that he could prove to her mother that he's trustworthy. She goes on to remind Zeke that with Isabel being busy, it gives them a chance to spend alone time together. Since the two of them just got back together, Zeke tells Nichelle that he'll want to take things slow, claiming that it's for her sake. Nichelle claims to understand, wondering if she came off desperate. Zeke assures his girlfriend that she didn't, telling Nichelle that he'll see her later before Isabel scolds them both. When Zeke walks off, Nichelle gives Zeke a sad look. In Vivian's apartment, she tells Pacho that the best way to distract Isidore is to help him focus on reuniting with Isabel. Upon hearing this, Pacho immediately rejects the idea. Eventually, she convinces Pacho that it's more about hurting Isidore and the Russos. Reluctantly, Pacho agrees to follow Vivian's plan. After finishing with their jobs at the mall, Max runs into Vanessa, who tells Max that it was nice running into him. He goes on to ask Vanessa why she seems to be in a hurry. Vanessa tells Max that if she were in a hurry, then she wouldn't have acknowledged him. Eventually, Max is able to get Vanessa to hang out with him for a bit. When she reluctantly agrees to spend time with her new friend, she apologizes to Max for her behavior. As soon as she apologizes, she receives another threatening text against Max from her stalker. Troubled at the thought that Max could be in danger, Vanessa rushes out of the mall. Before Kiev sent the threatening text, he makes a call to Yvette, telling her that he's certain JJ likes Yulissa. Because of this, the two pretend to date as a ploy to get the very people they can't have. At Confidence Designs, when Wanda asks Owen what's wrong, he tells her about the accusation Heidi made against her. Since it's clear that Owen is suspicious of Yvette's sudden decision to drop the charges against Max, he wonders if Heidi held something over Udel's head. This causes Wanda to snap. Then she immediately apologizes to Owen, who quickly forgives her. Before Owen walks off, he assures Wanda that she could trust him with anything. At Finnegan's house, Harley asks her lover to try and make peace with Alan, even if Alan gives him a hard time. Reluctantly, Finnegan agrees not to be antagonistic with her son for Harley's sake. In Terry's apartment, she asks Alan what seems to have him so bothered. He goes on to tell Terry about his issue with Finnegan and their previous encounter. Because of how Finnegan hurt Terry, he expresses that he fears that he'll hurt his mother the same way. Once Kiev is done with his makeover, Yvette begins to ask Kiev how he likes it. He replies by telling Yvette how different he looks and feels. She goes over her plans with him about pretending to date one another, as Kiev is looking forward to both of them getting what they want. At the Dorval estate, Yulissa asks Vanessa whether there was any news in regards to the stalker. Reluctantly, Vanessa reveals that the stalker threatened Max. Troubled by what she heard, Yulissa threatens to call the police if Vanessa doesn't tell her parents about the stalker. Can't get enough of the crazy world of In Times Like These? Then treat yourself to a binge watch of In Times Like These. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. You're not ready for what's to come, but tune in anyway.